So we was just continuing this conversation about Kendrick versus Drake and the larger cultural significance of what's going on in this battle and the way that casual fans are taking it as opposed to actual MCs who are practitioners of the art form of MCing and parts of hip hop culture. Icon, I want to go to you first because you had some interesting thoughts about it. I'm just gonna let you, speak your mind,
Yeah,
brother.
man. I just think I think where the Kendrick stand, and listen, I'm a Kendrick fan as
Me too.
well. You feel me? But I am wholeheartedly unbiased. You feel me?
Mhm.
Kendrick's not doing that well, and I think the people that are, it's hip hop and it's raw form and it has to be this and this doesn't count. It's like, yo, y'all playing yourselves. These niggas are boring and it's not progressing hip hop. It's like it's keeping it still. You feel me? The I always have this conversation with my friends. The number one problem is that all the niggas that can rap don't rap enough. You feel me? Everybody, it takes this nigga 9 years to come out with a motherfucking album.
That's true. That's true.
And we know you can make more because you've done 3 disc records in fucking 2 days. What are we talking about? I honest wholeheartedly, if it was like, yo, who are we gonna put hip hop's on whose shoulders? I'm not giving it to Kendrick. I'm sorry. I can't.
Is there someone you would give it to, or does no one fit that billing at this point in time?
Nobody. And another problem is that the generation before the generation that we're watching now didn't hand off a baton
Mm-hmm.
for their own self-sustaining reasons. They didn't pass a baton off. And I pay attention. We have people like Buster, like a couple other people who have their next generation that they're giving it to. Method Man ain't even give his shit to his son yet. You feel me? Fucking Buster got some 500-pound nigga that he's trying to promote. And it's not good. It's like, yo, you would think these amazing people would have better taste. Honestly. That's all I'm saying.
Is it really that age group or after them? Because
Yeah.
Buster had a whole camp that he tried to put out.
Both. I think it's both.
Like hell, Ye didn't just spring out from nowhere. So there's a so is it a group? Is it the group? Is it a group or two groups after that? Maybe
I think
because
I
I don't think it's that group.
I think it's everybody in whole, and it kind of goes back to a biasness. I think the people that they're choosing to hand, if I'm in a place where I'm like undeniable Baltimore hip hop, Statue of Liberty, da 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 da, and it comes down to me handing off a baton. I don't give a fuck if my man's rapping. If you're not good enough to carry this baton, you don't get it. You feel me?
Yes. No, I don't.
Cultural integrity. Yep. I get it.
Yeah, I think they're just passing the baton off to people that they rock with, not necessarily what's better for hip hop.
Well, that's going on, Vic. You can go ahead, but that's well, hell, who the hell who is who's Thugger put on? Who is who are these like even these guys who are hot or whatever, like who are they putting on? Is it anyone that's just like, oh shit, like
There's
is that going on in general? Is it going on in general? So that's not even a rebut. That's just like a, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
But
there's definitely some people that are good for the, like, we see the people that are like good for the culture. Like J. Cole has a amazing group of artists that come after him. You feel me? Fucking TDE at one point had a line of artists that were like amazing for the fucking culture and shit like that. But it's like it doesn't hit the same because it's Busta, it's Wu-Tang, it's the guys that got us to this place. And it's like now when they hand off the baton, it's like,
Well, I don't know. I think a lot of that goes back to like it goes back to also like fan base, right? It goes back to also what are people digesting? Because I've said this publicly on my Facebook, on social media. I'm never starving for good hip hop. I'm never like, oh God, I'm never like, oh shit, finally Kendrick put something out. Now I got some good music. Oh shit, there's flutes playing now. I can finally find something I can get into. I'm like, nigga, I can tell Google right now to go on my playlist and play my flutes. I got Brazilian flutes playing all the damn time in the background of my house. They would be playing if we wasn't on this podcast. So I'm like, I'm not impressed by flutes. Like I get flutes. So for me, it's also that type of thing, where it's people being amazed by basic shit because they're really not into what they say they into, right? So if all of a sudden if somebody come out and I'm like, oh damn, yo, I'm like, yo, this new nigga Ja is really changing how basketball is being played, and niggas like, well, you just started watching basketball, huh? Because there's been niggas doing some shit for like for years. Like you don't really watch basketball, and that's okay, right? But it's the same cake, different baker, yo. Like it's really the same thing, man. That's like it's a lot of people who should be in the bleachers and they're in the court, they're on the court. It's a lot of people, what I mean, who should just be listening and they're talking. It's a lot of social media and it's made people feel like everyone's equal, and it's really not the case, and the world don't even work like that. But again, back to hip hop, no, it's everyone is Goodwill Hunting. Everyone. You know what I mean? Everyone is, so no matter what the teacher is trying to tell you, and whoever that teacher is, right? And whatever discipline that is, right? If that it's like, oh no, I'm they
all the janitors are geniuses now.
Yo, all of them are Goodwill Hunting. Every last one of them when it comes to hip hop. And that's just really, that's really not what it is. And unfortunately, that has skewed all the metrics. That has people being able to say that so-and-so is really the GOAT of all time. Again, the GOAT, the genius, Mount Rushmore, all these things can be thrown out,
they throw stuff around way too easily. GOAT, classic. Classic is mine that irritates me when people say, this is a classic. Did we wait a little? Really? A classic? Measured against
classic. Again, the metrics, yo. The metrics are off. The metrics are off. I can't say the people who the good ones really not doing it enough, or say, that's part of it also,
Doing it good enough.
So some of them not doing it good enough. But to Meph's credit, he's rapping at a higher level than he was.
Right.
To his credit.
He is.
Like listen, not too many people can in my opinion can get on with RJ Payne and I'm still like, yeah, after RJ go off. Right. Nah. Yo, Meth was in the pocket. It was doing, and like you said, Icon pre-show evolution, right? Yeah. He's able to evolve and still, right? So that's what. So it's not always being about again. I was around before the golden era. I was here with the golden era. I'm here after the golden era. I'm my radar is still on. I'm listening to everybody. Like I just brought up RJ Payne. No one brings him up, but I listen to him. I listen to the baby. If I'm in a certain mood, I'm putting on Lil Baby for a vibe. You know what I mean? So I got some King Von somewhere. So I'm not just oh no, where's my backpack? Where's my knapsack? And my skateboard? And let me just, let me sit cross-legged in the park and be no. Yeah. You know what I mean? So, if you're not evolving, that you also really don't have a say in this conversation.
Shaka, let me ask you this. What era to you was in fact the golden era? Because there's some discrepancy about this. Some people think it was like Melly Mel, the Rakim era. Was it Biggie, Nas,
96,
Jay-Z.
96, 90, that 90, that 94, 96, 96 type era. That's when it was like everything came together.
Okay.
Everything that the 80s, the late 80s and them was trying to, you know what I mean? All that. That's when Nas, Wu, who else dropped between 94 and 96? Pac had some Pac was doing some good stuff. Biggie, I believe, was doing some good stuff. Tribe was doing good stuff. It was a bunch of good stuff going on. Dre and them was doing, it was a lot of good stuff going on. And that
just New York alone, boot camp and
boot camp, it was a lot of stuff.
Same time.
I credit 10 years. I say 86 to 96 is the golden era.
Okay. I mean, if you want to blend, those two eras,
I wouldn't. I wouldn't fight that too hard. But my metric still would like, as far as remembering what the vibe was in the 80s and remembering what the 80s was exciting. And it was new, and we was trying to, but the 90s, it was like, no, it was the definition,
the evolution factor.
The evolution did factored in, and everything that the 80s said that we, this is what we are. 90s was like, this is what we are, and more. We're gonna take this. The skill set changed. Production
more diversity
changed.
too.
Everything sort of turned the corner and opened up the way for that 98. Early 2000s, that was just like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? That opened up for the DMXs, the G Units, the Dipsets, that whole thing came after that. And then you got the Ye's, the Wheezy, like it just opened up for the whole 2000s. That 90s, that 90, that mid 90s and up was great. Was great. It was great. You said Smooth the Hustler. You had Fuji's doing it. Like it was a lot of good shit. Like there was never a shortage of something to pop into the deck. Never. You know what I mean? That's what it was for me.
Leviathan, Coltrane. What did both of them niggas have to say about?
I think that I always come back to, first of all, I think it's hilarious that Shaka said about flutes. First of all, I just want to talk about how hilarious the flutes are. When you talked about, the flutes, I feel like, the flutes, I feel like somewhere Andre 3000 shed a tear. But I think that I always come back to this conversation about the 3 MC theory or the big three, whatever you want to call it, that is a great way to get a microcosm on the larger macro, if you will, when we're talking about culture of hip hop compared to the commodity of mainstream rap music. Because if you look at the question from that era that Shaka was talking about, I think it was like 96, 97, when the song came out and, the question of Biggie, Jay-Z or Nas became a thing. And then you compare it to the modern day question that was being thrown out of Kendrick, J Cole or Drake. And then you compare those three to each other and see drastically how one does not compared to the other, how one is nowhere near the same level of quality to the other. And that is a larger product of how mainstream rap music has continued to devolve the culture. Hip hop has continued to evolve. Hip hop has kept getting better, but mainstream rap music has continued to get worse and worse, and even worse than I think we might have imagined it could have got. Radio rap has gotten way worse. And so when we see something like this start to happen, the results of why it's so divisive among rap fans and hip hop fans alike is because of that. It's because of the way that our own culture has been turned into something else, GMO-filled hip hop, and then sold back to us, and people don't actually realize what they're eating and that it's not actually the best quality. And when you look at how hip hop evolved independently of that whole mechanism, hip hop kept on evolving, and lyricism devolved in mainstream rap radio to the point where the art form of lyricism had to escape the matrix and find its own Zion underground. And then that's how we saw battle rap become the phenomenon that it has. And it rose from that underground Zion. And that is where the lyricism aspect of hip hop went to find a respite where it could continue to evolve and be what it is meant to be. And so you want to bring that dynamic back into the mainstream rap world, you got to understand that the metrics are different, that you're not going to try to be like, oh, we're bringing what happens in the rap battle arenas. This is what some mainstream rappers are doing now. You got to understand that they are not operating with the same level of skills and the same tools. It's going to be a lesser version. And people aren't going to be able to know that it is because they've been eating this McDonald's diet of hip hop music for more than a decade now. And so, and for us who claim to be the torchbearers of the culture when it comes to the mainstream rap shit, we gotta let that shit go. That is not representative of us. That is not representative of what we should be taking in.